shortening everything up. So Del Ballard got him to stretch things back out a bit, and what it did was it increased the size of his flat spot at the bottom of the swing.
DeVaney steps on over to the chameleon oil pattern. And heavy and leaves the big four.
And just like that, Mike DeVaney is out of the 220s unless he can make the big four here. Remember, the big four has only been made once on television, and that was by Walter Ray Williams Jr.
Your reigning PBA Player of the Year,
at
Walter Ray Williams Jr.
At age 50.
5-0. What a season he had. I mean, really.
At age 50.
And you see DeVaney, he's taking a peek at the scoreboard right now, and he's doing the number crunching that Randy just took care of. A rough, open frame. Norm Duke there on the right and Rhino Page on the left. As of now, those two moving on, and that open frame, a big break primarily for Norm Duke, who's technically in second. Again, our leader after 5 frames, Bill O'Neill, will be bowling next after Mike DeVaney.
Boy, Mike got off to such a great start in the first 5 frames. Remember, he started with a 4-bagger. The last 3 shots have all been errant. He went high in the 5th, flagged the head pin in the 6th, and just left the big 4. He can still strike out, though, for 238.
And that would be enough to get him to the title match. On the Viper oil pattern now. And there's that strike. A much-needed one for his score and his psyche.
Go back to the notes and figure out how he's going to play the Scorpion oil pattern. Watch this bowling ball. Very subtle back-end reaction. He likes to keep it nice and straight on that Viper oil pattern. You can see just how talented Mike DeVaney is and how versatile he is. He can hook it from in. He can go straight. He's worked really hard in changing his role when he has to. When he first came out on tour, he was just a guy that banged on it really hard and tried to hook the entire lane. But let's take a look at the Scorpion oil pattern, which he won on, and he beat Jason Belmonte in a total grind out.
Another strike for DeVaney.
Well, here's the ball change. He makes a little bit of an adjustment. See how that ball hooks a lot more in the back part of the lane. But he plays it perfectly. Now the easiest, statistically anyway, of the 5 oil patterns, Cheetah.
He has 6 strikes right now. Can max out at 238, and that would be enough to get him into the title match. That would bump Norm Duke out. It would leave Bill O'Neill to try and earn that final spot over Rhino Page. Leaves the 4-pin.
Norm went high on that Cheetah oil pattern. Mike DeVaney comes back and goes high on that Cheetah oil pattern. Just so much friction. Players are making educated guesses out there, trying to predetermine what kind of breakdown, how much the oil has changed, without giving up too much of the pocket away. Spare in 7, and Norm Duke would officially be eliminated.
There's your spare.
Were you worried at all when he threw that hook ball at that 4-pin?
A little. A little. I was worried that his wife Carrie might be a little more upset at it should he miss.
Yeah. Well.
And again, congratulations to Mike and his wife Carrie, the birth of their first daughter, Everly Jean. Beautiful name.
Yes.
Joining big brother Owen in the family. He missed the Norwich, Connecticut show for that big toss here. Needs 7, gets 10.
See, and that's the adjustment when you can get more than one shot on a lane. He knows, all right, I went 4-pin, let me move a little bit left. That shot was dead flush perfect.
So Mike DeVaney still alive, at least For the moment, he's still alive, while Rhino Page is now guaranteed a spot in the upcoming two-man title match. Up now, the guy who gave Walter Ray Williams Jr. all he can handle in the Player of the Year race. The real deal, Bill O'Neill with a shot to move on to the title match. Back to Arlington, Texas. 2010 PBA Experience Showdown presented by Bull.com. Rolls on. Time now to close out our 10-frame match with the guy who was your leader after 5 frames, Bill O'Neill. Bill needs to bowl a 218 or better to move on to the title match versus Rhino Page. Otherwise, it'll be Mike DeVaney taking on Rhino Page. And what a year Bill O'Neill had. Made 5 telecasts, winning 2 shows. He won the Chameleon Championship, which earned him the right to bowl here at the PBA Experience Showdown. He begins the 6th on the sharp, drops all 10. Time now for the winning touch, brought to you by Touch of Gray. Gets rid of some gray, never all, and this week's winning touch flashes us back to the season 67th Lumber Liquidators U.S. Open. First major, Bill O'Neill's young burgeoning career. So here's O'Neill as he begins the 7th frame. Looking for a 6-bagger. Crack open that 6-pack, Billy O.
Bill O'Neill, you're making it look easy out there, even though we know it's not. How are you able to do that?
Well, I got very fortunate on the first one there in the left lane. I got it in a little bit, but I guess the adrenaline took over, and I threw it a little harder than I probably wanted to, but I was pretty fortunate there, and the second frame here was pretty good, so.
So there,
Randy.
O'Neill tied with Walter Ray Williams Jr. atop the Player of the Year points list. The tiebreaker was the PBA points list, which Walter Ray dominated. Talked to Bill today about being co-#1 but not really winning it, and he says, you know, it was a dream season regardless. If you had told me I'd win the US Open, win 2 titles, I would have taken that any day of the week.
Well, he's in the 240s and he's on cruise control right now. Mike DeVaney's chances aren't looking good. This one in the pocket, just a pinch high, leaving the 4-pin, and right now Bill O'Neill, all he needs to do is fill frames with marks, and he's going to bowl Rhino Page for the title.
Busy offseason upcoming for Bill O'Neill, and in the bowling circle, offseason is not exactly a correct phrase to use, because there really is no downtime for the best in bowling. He's got Team USA camp coming up, and he's going to go to Japan and bowl in the Japan Cup. He has a bachelor party, a little thing called a wedding and a honeymoon to take care of as well.
How about the honeymoon?
Yeah, a Mediterranean cruise recommended by his mom.
That's classy.
Yeah, I'm impressed. So the score to beat is Mike DeVaney's 217, and he will advance to the 5-frame title match versus Rhino Page. Didn't like it, leaves the 10.
Shot.
Remember, Rhino Page was in 4th place after the opening 5 frames.
Just to spare here, and he moves on.
Spare it is. Title match is next. So Bill O'Neill eliminates Mike DeVaney, and he will take on Rhino Page for the title here at the PBA Experience Showdown. And we'll have that 5-frame championship match when we return to Arlington, Texas.